Obviously, heading into my first season, I think the most exciting part for me is just getting along with the guys. I think a big part of what the leadership group wanted was that culture, that commitment to furthering themselves off the field, which is also where I align. So I really think it was exciting to come into a system that was exactly what I was looking for. We talk about how we want to be active in the classroom. The guys did a great job this past fall going from a 2.6 to a 3.01, finally getting us on the board. So we had that academic dedication. Then you've also got the community aspect. Are we getting out into town? Are we committed to that portion of it? Danville and Avert are symbiotic. And then that last one is competition. Obviously, we're joining a new conference last year, getting into our second season in the ODAC. So that aspect is going to be added there in the competitive edge. I think when we sat down and we talked about what we were looking for out of this year, the biggest thing was just seeing growth. Coming off a 3-11 season, that gives us a high ceiling to achieve, but it's not going to be in the first day. We talked about that progressive growth from game 1 to game 17, how that's going to look from playing a Division II team this Saturday, heading into our first home game next week, Friday Night Lights against Greensboro, all the way through to our last game on Senior Day with Shenandoah right here. So a lot of our focus was in the fall, on our rides and clears, making sure we had our defensive set, ready to go. Our offense is moving fluid. So heading into the spring, those things carried over, which is great. Their attention to detail in the offseason has been outstanding, and they've even seen improvements in their weightlifting numbers, the numbers on the field, opportunities in practice, both offensively and defensively, and the energy is up. So I think it's just going to be an exciting season just because of the vibe. So within our leadership committee, we've gone ahead and tried to develop some different plans, working with Brett Ledbetter, to try to build an environment that's welcoming and inclusive. And I think in that it's allowed our leadership committee to grow from a personal standpoint, a professional standpoint, and also learn different ways to communicate. Not everybody likes to get yelled at, so there are some different leaders that have that intense type and some that don't. I think it's important to have a group of guys that can balance each other out. So we talked about our 3 keys of this season. I think the biggest one was our transition game. We want to be able to play fast. We want to be able to push the field. We only get 20 seconds to clear and 60 seconds in our offensive clock. So I think the big thing for us is making sure we have good time management as we're transitioning. So we're expecting more opportunities on the offensive end, and our defense has a little bit more experience under their belt against some of the best teams in the nation. So it's going to give us an opportunity to really see where we stack up after having 1 year of kind of testing that out with those teams. Our freshmen coming in bring the energy, they bring the hype, they bring that, that excitement for college lacrosse, and it's us to kind of tailor that to what we need, but their energy is great and they've done a great job of bringing everybody else on. It seems like everybody's had that type of positive vibe and positive energy going in. So I think one of the things that we're really excited about this year also is that we want to connect directly with the community. We understand that lacrosse isn't a big thing in Danville, and that's been a promotion of ours this year, is trying to get out to the community, tell people about our games, talking about the sport, what it is, how it's very similar to some other ones that they might know more regularly. It's kind of funny to talk to basketball people and let them know that basketball exists because of lacrosse, and not a lot of people know that. So it's really cool to kind of tell people the dynamic of the game, and then also the culture around the sport. I mean, it's an indigenous game. It predates the United States. So for us, it's an opportunity to touch with the diversity of this community, the history of this community, and create a lacrosse culture around something that never existed before. So hopefully people are excited about coming out to games and seeing things in person, because you might not know what's going on, but the guys love your energy and love your support.